Those are always fun. What's the biggest thing that you guys are looking forward to tomorrow with the Raiders coming to town?
I want to see this, and I'm stealing this from Stutes, but I agree completely. I was looking in the wrong place. I want to see the rematch between Henry To'oTo'o and Ashton Genty. Henry To'oTo'o said the Raiders game was the low point of his life. I was just asking about the worst football game of his life. He told me it was the low point of his life. I would think that if that's the case, when you see that silver and black, you're going to want to see how it goes. One-on-ones, are we going to see Henry To'oTo'o and Ashton Genty? We got to see that rematch. It has to happen. If I'm D'Amico Ryans, he's lining up against Ashton Genty. The other thing is Brock Bowers. I think this team is still very, very vulnerable when it comes to guarding tight ends. I think that's a possibility that could be the weakness of the defense if we're kind of nitpicking the honor student. How do you handle Genty out of the backfield? How do you handle Brock Bowers? It's going to be something I'm going to be watching.
Yeah, that's exactly where I wanted to go. Like tight ends, big tight ends, especially the good ones, is a question. I wonder how much Reed Blankenship being here changes the dynamic of how they are capable of guarding tight ends. That's one of those. And I feel like Cody is about to go here, so apologies for them stealing it. Can they move a different offensive line, right? Like can they, or defensive line rather, like especially one where they're going to have like the more of those guys, 3 of those guys right in there in front of them. Like, can they create space? Because I know that they can get a hat on a hat most of the time. And so that's cool. Like, can we actually get movement on this at all? It would be a thing that I'm very interested in seeing.
I'm going to pay a little bit of attention to the interior defensive line. You're really up and down the depth chart, because fool me once a couple of years ago when it looked like Foley Fatukasi and Mario Edwards were, the best defensive tackle duo ever. And it turns out, the interior offensive line for the Texans was just horrendous. And that's why those guys looked good. I'm not saying that's the case here, because I really like what Tommy Togiai brings to the table, and Sheldon Rankins is a really solid veteran. They shouldn't look like throwback Aaron Donald in practice. So Tyler Linderbaum's the center for the Raiders. So go out there, beat his ass. And then I'm like, okay, I'm really excited about this. And just this defensive line as well, especially Caden McDonald. That's the kind of the guy I'm adding a little bit of extra focus on. This defensive line, this feels like if you were going to wash out some of these guys, this Kubiak system, that style of run game, like, hey, go out there and stop Ashton Genty in this run game with this kind of revamped on-the-fly Raiders O-line. Is like, it's not the most impressive line when it comes to pass protecting, but like, it feels like the Kubiak system gives you a nice safety net as far as what you can do running the football. Hey, Caden McDonald, you're here to disrupt the run. When you get out there, I don't care which slappy's in front of you. Go out there and ruin some things.
Yeah, I was going through the Raiders roster this afternoon, and you're looking at the depth chart, like, oh yeah, that's where Linderbaum signed for $27 million a year or whatever it was. So he's definitely on my short list of guys I'm looking forward to watching in joint practice, and I get for however long he plays in the game, just because that was somebody a lot of Texan fans wanted that to be a big splurge for the Texans. I'm glad they didn't do that, to be clear. At the price tag he ended up going, the Raiders had to pay the Raider tax to get Linderbaum in the building. But that's one. I'm hoping and praying that Fernando Mendoza gets reps against the first team defense for the Texans. I need to see that nerd get his head handed to him, whether it's a joint practice or whether it's in the game. I need to see this. I need this like I need oxygen. I need to see Fernando Mendoza and his little TED Talk hand gestures and his overly sunshiny dorkiness just get buried in the ground underneath Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson and Sheldon Rankins and Jadeveon Clowney and whoever the hell else. So I need that. Did you guys know that Daria Gumbawale was on the Raiders?
So is Noah Brown.
Yep.
So is Noah Brown.
What was that, as of like a few days ago?
Yes. Foley Fatukasi's on the Raiders.
Yep.
No idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're ready to watch the Texans this fall, but you're not sure exactly where you're sitting just yet, SeatGeek can take care of you. The #1 sports ticketing app is here for you. Texans football, man. Look at all these different options. Maybe you want to start with the two-step of the Bills and Bengals coming to town with MVP caliber quarterbacks. Maybe later in the year you want to go see the Texans play the Chargers, or you want to go watch them play the Commanders, or maybe, just maybe, you're thinking Christmas Eve would be huge. Let's go watch them play the Eagles in Philadelphia. They got everything for you. at SeatGeek, even the game that I really want to go watch on the road. That's the Green Bay Packers. Look at all these great seats at the legendary Mecca that is Lambeau Field. SeatGeek has it all. Over 70,000 events, plays, and music shows, and just about any sport you can think of. And right now, Collective 10 is going to get you 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. It's 10% off any tickets with the promo code Collective 10. Just make sure you click the link in the description, download the app, have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek, for 10% off when you use the code Collective 10. Oh, wow.
You guys knew about Dare?
Frank Ross is going to be crying during practice tomorrow.
Oh my God.
I know where all the Nigerians in the league are. Come on now.
Yeah, my bad. Thomas Booker also, by the way, if we want to do the full reunion.
Frank Ross is going to do a jersey swap afterwards. He's going to have a practice.
Holding a chef like this.
He's going to have a joint practice. Darigan Boy is going to give him his coach's T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh,
with the Dare practice jersey.
I am annoyed is not the right word, but like this has got to be one of the absolute worst wide receiver rooms.
It's horrible, dude.
That I've seen in a long time.
And they had a whole offseason. It's like, okay, so they traded Jacoby Myers and they had no wide receivers with a pulse. They went into a draft. They drafted a quarterback, and it's like, okay, well, usually when you draft a quarterback, like in the draft, you draft like a few wide receivers to like add to him. Well, not really. It's astonishing. Like that, y'all are talking about like spoiler alert, the Texans defense is going to beat the Raiders offense's ass for the most part, with the exception of potentially the Bowers thing. But there's going to be some rough moments for them. But God, that is just an astonishing group of wide receivers. Makes me almost wonder if maybe they're kind of hesitating to put Mendoza out there because they're like, hey, Kirk, you can go take it on the chin.
Boy, that's a really good point. They have no way other than Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is going to get 125 catches if he stays healthy this year.
There's also Michael Mayer. I know that he's kind of fallen by the wayside.
It's on his fantasy team, and all of a sudden it's 125. If you'd asked him
125,
you'd asked him 10 minutes ago, he'd have said 70, but now it's 125.
No, but we didn't get him. I'd have been like, he's probably going to get hurt again and draft Michael Mayer in the 8th round. Yeah, exactly, Reggie. There you go. That wide receiver room is horrible. It's so bad. It is so bad.
Well, Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter and Jalen Petrie and company going to have just a field day with those guys.
It's gonna be fun.
It'd feel like. I also have two could have been, some people would argue should have been Texans to pay attention to in this one. This one's way down the pecking order. But Mike Washington Jr., who was a 4th-round draft pick, it certainly seems like he's got a little bit more juice to him than your typical 4th-round draft pick, the running back out of Arkansas. And a couple of years ago, a fella named Delmar Glaze got drafted at right tackle. About 6 picks after Blake Fisher got drafted at right tackle. Delmar Glaze is your, basically since he walked in the building, stick it over there at right tackle spot for the Raiders. And I only think about that because Cole Popovich randomly tossed in, like, hey, when do you want to have the 5 settled? He's like, well, I wish it was last year.
Yeah.
Like, well, if you had a Delmar Glaze, perhaps it would have been last year.
Yeah.
Listed as DJ Glaze, mind you.
He's listed on ESPN.com as DJ Glaze, which sounds like a DJ that's just overly praising everybody out there. Yeah. He's DJ Glaze. He's glazing everybody.
Good name, man.
Mama call him Delmar. I'm going to call him Delmar.
I'm going to call him Delmar.
That's right.
All right, fellas.
Hey, in and out. You don't get to roll your eyes at my joke.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, I support it, man. It's a good one. Liked it.
All right, fellas. I got to get over to this fantasy draft over here. So, Landry, you got a 10:30 tonight?
You started out well, brother.
I know. We should just keep going. I'll wind up with the winning the title this year.
Yeah, 10:30. We're basically going to treat this like the Super Bowl.